Hello everybody. Welcome back to my next little video in this mini series all about the energy centers within the human design charts. If you haven't already seen the head center video, I would encourage you to watch it before this one, simply because I gave a lot of information about the defined centers and the difference between a defined, undefined and open center, which would be helpful to know ahead of this video. Okay, so let me just very quickly share my screen again. Let's do this. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Ajna Center, and this is the Ajna Center. And you can see this is the head. So this was the first video I was talking about the head center, and this is the Ajna Center. And in this particular human design body graph chart, the Ajna Center is colored in, which means it's defined. If it was open with lots of little colored numbers like this one here, it would be undefined. And if it was fully white with no colored numbers, it would be called open. Okay, so that's what I'm going to say about that for the moment. So the Ajna Center. So if you think about the head center, this is where our thoughts come into our head and it's where they turn into inspiration. The head center is a pressure center and it's what helps to push the energy through the rest of our bodies. The Ajna Center is all about researching those ideas that are coming through the head center. Now, if you have an undefined or an open head center, then you'll experience that inspiration from different sources. So from your environment, from the people that you are with. If your head center is colored in and it's defined, then you have consistent access to those ideas, to those inspired ideas. Okay. So now that you have the ideas, what do you do with them? So they'll pass through into your Ajna Center. And I always do this because I always feel like it's around here in your body. So your Ajna Center is it's like your research center, right? This is where you take your ideas and you contemplate them. You start thinking and exploring them and about how you're going to bring them into form. So how you're going to bring them into reality. And again, your head center or your Ajna Center aren't there to use these ideas and these researched ideas and thoughts for yourself. They are to help support other people. Okay. For yourself, you will use your energy type, your strategy, and your decision-making authority to help you create a life that you love and one that is fully aligned to your energy type. Okay. So this is for somebody else. And by the way, when I first had that, I found that very difficult because I just thought, but then I remembered that I would always give myself these pressure headaches trying to solve a problem for myself. And often when I just went for a walk and let it go, the thought would just come to me, right? Or somebody would show up in my environment asking me about something. And because I'm a projector waiting to be invited, sacral authority. So sometimes as well, I would feel a pulse about something, as I'm just kind of like, sort of creating space between me and the thoughts I was having. And it really came when I started looking at that in hindsight, I could start to see the pieces all coming together, which is why human design makes so much sense for me. Because when I look back in hindsight, I can create those patterns. I can see how I've used those different parts of my design to help me create, something that's right for my life. So when you look at your Ajna Center, as I said, this is an awareness center, right? So your head center is a pressure center. It's here to push that energy through the rest of your body. You may feel under pressure to kind of come up with ideas, to feel inspired. You may look outside of yourself for those things. And with the Ajna as well, it's here to bring awareness, right? So it's kind of that contemplation, that research. And it's that, if you think about awareness is something that goes on around us. It's being able to take a step back and observe and take the learnings from those observations. And when you apply those learnings from those observations, that's how you're able to take and those ideas and actually think about them and how you're going to bring them into reality, right? So it's quite an interesting center. 47% of the population has this defined, they have it colored in, and 53% of the population has this undefined. So just a little bit of information there for you. If you have a defined Ajna Center, then you'll naturally be an independent thinker. You may very likely have a very active and sharp mind. So this is where that busyness might come in. It's the same with your head. If your head is defined as well, you just have this business in your head. You will often find as well that if you have a defined head and a defined ajna, if you're trying to meditate, just try lying down. Top tip, try lying down. Just because it kind of releases that energy and that pressure. And you'll find that you're very likely able to meditate lying down, but you could also fall asleep. Perfectly normal, acceptable. So please don't worry about that. But if you find that you're one of these people that have sat in a meditation and you've tried to do it upright and listening to things and you've not been able to, oh no, sorry, you've been sitting up and you've not been listening to things, your mind gets very full and very busy, and you found it difficult, it's likely because you have a defined ajna or a defined head. So just lie down. Just a top tip there. I know because somebody suggested it to me and I was at the beginning of learning all about my human design and it has served me so well. So enjoy if you take nothing else from this video. The other thing to think about as well, when we're thinking about the optimal expression and the least optimal expression of the Ajna Center. So the least optimal expression of the Ajna Center is the need to figure things out. It's the constant need to figure things out rather than trusting your authority or your energy type or your strategy, right? Rather than giving yourself the space to pop things down, change your environment, change who you're with, so that you can create this space and just let those things kind of come to you. I'm very aware that I'm saying something that isn't, tangible, right? I'm saying some things that are intangible, but we've all had those moments where a light bulb has gone off, right? Where you've just suddenly had a thought, and that is an inspired thought. We've all had those moments when we've taken those inspired thoughts and we've contemplated them. We've gone to bed with them. We've been thinking about them. Could be reading a book. You pop the book down because you're still thinking about it, right? That's the intangible stuff that I'm talking about. But it's not really intangible because we've all had experiences of it. We've all had moments in our lives and many, many moments in our lives where we have witnessed those things. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about fairy dust here, okay? I'm talking about the type of stuff that you cannot see, but you know that you experience on a day-to-day basis. So the least expression, it's also fear of sharing your opinions. I think, when it comes to the Ajna Center, because it is this research idea, for some of us, we're going to want to discuss it. For some people, we're going to want to share it. For others, we're going to want to maybe contribute those ideas to a group. And, if you find that you're in a place where you don't want to, you don't feel happy or confident, that's the least optimal expression of the Ajna Center. So if you're open or you're undefined, and you're in an environment that doesn't feel right for you, or you're with people that don't feel right for you, you may feel less comfortable sharing those ideas. But the idea of the Ajna Center is to be able to research them and to sort of discuss bringing them into form. So you need to make sure that your environment is aligned to give you that confidence, that you're surrounded by people who support you, right? This isn't all woo-woo and magic, right? It's about moving the right pieces in your life so that you can create an environment that you love, that you're surrounded and supported by people that you love. Because when you have that it helps you to kind of go on this journey where then you're then pushing towards the most optimal expression of that energy center. I don't prescribe to people saying, well, you need to figure this out. Because whilst, yes, you can figure it out as a starting point, i.e. this is, for example, my human design chart. This is my makeup. This is my story, right? But how you fill in that story is always going to be up to you. And, you will have feelings, you will have senses as to whether somebody's right for you, whether an environment is right for you, whether work that you're doing is right for you. You will have those senses. What happens is we muddy them because we tend to listen to other people's thoughts and opinions, or we don't express our own. And that's one part of the least optimal expression of the Ajna Center. And also, I think as well with the Ajna Center and also with the head, there's this constant pressure to feel like you need to figure stuff out, right? You need to have it figured out because life tells you must have things figured out. Life doesn't tell you that. Life is very busy trying to express itself through you so it can have the best experience possible in this lifetime. That's what life is busy doing, right? Well, we kind of get in life's way because we put doubt in and we put these boulders in the way. We don't align ourselves to maybe, what our true energy type is. So we're busy burning out over here. We're over here doing work and trying to people please over here. And we've all done it and we all do it. and as a result, it's just getting in the way of life trying to express its way through you. Life's desperately trying to give you these inspired ideas so you can help other people. It's desperately trying to give you a space so you can research these ideas, so you can understand how you want to bring them into form so you can support and help other people. But we kind of get in our own way. And that's where that expression comes from, about getting in our own way. But you can literally see it when you're looking at the least optimal expression of a center versus its optimal expression of that center. And you can kind of see like what the hurdles we put in our way as we try to kind of get the best out of that energy center. So please let me know down below if you've got a defined ajna or an undefined ajna. If you've got any questions, let me know as well. And as I mentioned in the head center video, we're going through this piece by piece and just giving you an overview so that you can look at your chart and have a basic understanding of it, so that you can hopefully take something useful from it. The power is always putting the pieces back together and looking and reading the entire chart, and pulling in all the different variables, the gifts and everything. So if you've got any questions or you need any support with that, please let me know. You can also go to my website, effiemoss.com, and pull your chart for free if you haven't already. And you can, of course, also book a one-to-one session with me to go through your chart. Anyway, that's for another day. I shall see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye.